After the war, the history books they tell of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Hello there, hello there, hello there, everybody. I haven't even sorted out my fucking camera. That is dastardly. How are we all? I'm very well. I thank you for asking. Well, that is not helped at all. There we go. That's roughly the sort of shade of honky that... Oh, actually, I can't say that, can I? Fuck. Okay. Nuke the VOD. Yes, happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates. I, of course, have come dressed as a depressed millennial. Nailed it. Anyway, I'm glad you like the image. To the person who said something in chat, I can't give a duck. What the fuck is private chat? And why am I checking it? You have to define yourself. God dang it. What is private chat? What does that mean? Is it a DM you've sent me? Oh, on Discord. Oh, for fuck. Okay, right. Say check the Discord. And then say private chat, I suppose, because I'd need to know that bit as well. What am I checking? That is a picture of a cat. It's adorable, but not really relevant. I have edited the image. It's very... What? Well, for a start off, that fucking novelty notification sound can do one. What the fuck is that nonsense? Get out of my fucking ears. There is currently a man standing on his window sill in the garden below, talking very loudly in an American accent, smoking a cigarette which smells very much like a cigar. It stinks while drinking a Monster Energy, and he's doing it all while wearing sandals and socks, and the smoke is drifting into my flat. What? How high up is he? What the fuck is that? Can I show that? Dave, the adorable cat is Dave. Well, give Dave extra head scritches or something. Yes, I can show that, okay. What the fuck? 25 metres, so if he falls, he's dead then? Presume, unless there are, you live near some sort of cushion depository place or something, I don't know. Hang on, where are we? No, boom. Oh, for fuck. There we go, right. Hang on. Let's shrink it down so you can see. Boom. Look, he's literally just stood on the thing. Is this a cry for help? Have you tried talking to this person? The fuck is going on there? Oh, that's wild. There's something on my face. What do you mean there's something on my face? What, a beard? A nose? What do you mean? That is a stiff dick of poop. That is a... Well, yeah, that's the only way to describe it. It is a stiff dick of poop. From beyond the grave, Gonzalo Lira tells us the truth. Funny! Thank you, Fosmos, for gifting a sub to 2 Spectral Wolves. Much love to you, my friend. Much love. Hey, hello, Left of the Box. Everyone go and follow Left of the Box immediately, otherwise I will stand on a windowsill 25 metres in the air smoking a cigar. The only thing that should be on your face is my bollocks. You are a smooth criminal. You are a smooth criminal, Vogel. God bless. You know what? Occasionally I think to myself, have I, done the right thing in cultivating the kind of community that I have? You know? Because other people's communities don't talk the way we do, right? And then moments like that happen, and I think, no, you know what? We've hit the sweet spot. Fucking nailed it, bro. Love it. I mean, it means I can never, ever, ever run for office or anything. Not that I wanted to, but, the option would have been something, I suppose. Oh, pardon me. But there we go. There we go, chap. Anyway, how are we all? I wasn't really sure whether I was going to stream tonight or not. I put out 2 videos on the YouTubes. Everyone go and check those out. They're clips from last night. Actually, I mean, one of them's a short, although it's not up as a short, because for some reason it wouldn't let me just, make it into a short, even though it's 24 fucking seconds. YouTube, sort yourselves out, you absolute fucking mung beans. And then there's the Zack Polanski not falling for, Zionist bullshit. So, I'll post a link to that in chat. Go and like it. Go and leave a comment and all the rest of it. It all helps in the algorithm. Also, if you could get 4 of your friends to subscribe to me, I would be on 18,000. We are literally 4 away. So round up 4 absolute gimploids who are prepared to just follow a random person on YouTube and get them to subscribe. It's free. Did you see Max's video about a former Labour MP who joined Reform claiming asylum seekers are bringing Sharia law to Glasgow? Are bringing Sharia... Hang on a minute. Are bringing Sharia law to Glasgow? The otherwise squeaky clean, non-sectarian image of Glasgow is going to be ruined. The Muslims have brought religious division to Glasgow. Will 4 bot accounts do? No, don't do bot accounts, because YouTube can fucking tell sometimes, and then they might ban me or something. So don't bot or anything. People have suggested that. They say, oh, you should bot. It gets, but I don't want to. If all you've got is that you cheat, sort of what's the point? What have you achieved there, really? If fame is all you want, go out and fucking commit a heinous crime or something. If it's just money you want, rob a bank. Not literally. This is not actual legal advice. If you want to actually fucking grow an audience and get people to listen to what you have to say and all the rest of it, create content that people want to watch. Don't fucking, be silly. What am I seeing? This is an image that was created ages ago, and I love it. I've been going through my old like images and stuff, mainly so that I've got faces to put on these images. Hang on, I'll go back to the opener and I'll turn the noise off. These images that I've put together here, I needed like faces of me or Christy for the happy hour opening bit and all the rest of it, right? So I've been going through old images and stuff, and there's some absolute fucking belters in there. I didn't realise I had so many old memes of the Queen being dead. Or there was one which I'd totally forgotten about, and I giggled my ass off earlier about. It was one of the Queen. Now, it was before she died, but it was after her husband died, right? And it was one of those adverts where, like, it said, "My husband is dead," and then, you know, exclamation point. A horny great-grandma sluts in your area want to fuck. Press here, link, you know. And it was a picture of the Queen. Jesus Christ. I wonder if she did get any cock guilt-free before she passed. I kind of hope so. Although in the 90s, oof. I imagine mechanically there must be assistance necessary. Oh, Journey Jordan, Jesus Christ. I didn't need that image. Of all the things to add into it, a cheeky bit of incest. You can clip that.
Where are we going? Garbage Island.
Anyway, I wasn't sure I was going to stream tonight. And then the title will tell you what our main port of call will be this evening. And yeah, I had to. Two of my favourite bods together at last. Beautiful. Nice to see you finished your haircut. What? What do you mean finished? What the fuck does that mean? Katie Marshall? Who the fuck is Katie Marshall? I have no idea who this person is. They're a singer of some... anyway, it's not that person, no. That's the former British Prime Minister and official murderer of the Queen, Elizabeth Mohammed Truss. The middle name is weird, I know, but you just go with it. Oh, Katie Marshall. Ah, right, sorry. I thought you meant there was like a celebrity, and I've just tweeted. Apparently, you also share a name, Mad Cat, with a singer called Katie Marshall. Either way, it's neither of the Katies Marshall. It's Liz Truss. So deal with that as you will. She did murder the pound as well. Well, look, I'll say this. People have a go at Liz Truss, right? But Liz Truss had two policies. Destroy the economy, check, and kill the Queen, check. 100% success rate. You can't argue with that. In this country, we get too caught up on whether or not a policy is morally correct or not, and not whether they were successful. Okay? And she nailed it, 2 for 2. She got in, did what she needed to do, and got out. She left on her terms, not literally at all in any way whatsoever, but she got out when she was at the peak of her powers. None of this sad decline where you see them playing in the fucking second and third tier. A bloated husk of what they once were. No Maradona 1995 for Liz Truss. No. She went out at her peak. We salute her. Completely ironically. I'm late to the stream, but that pick has to be a 255 pick. I don't know. Someone did it ages ago. It was in the file that I keep of random shite. Anyway, what is this? That's the link I posted. Sorry, because you pinned it. I thought it was a thing that I needed to see, but no. Let us review that premise, Kev, man, cheater. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Right. If you wish to help me out by assisting my not starving to death / being homeless, which, you know, are certainly priorities from my perspective, you can do so in the following ways. You can hit the follow button. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. You can do Biddy Bits messages, 200 bits or more, get you a text-to-speech. You can do super chats via the Streamlabs link below. $2 or more, they get you a text-to-speech. I've got Patreon and PayPal. I've got YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. If you're on YouTube, what the fuck, Guan? You can subscribe to the channel. You can thumb the video up. You can hit the bell icon. You can become a member for 99 of your British pence sterling. You can gift memberships at that exact same rate. And do super chats, which I will read out. You can also do super stickers or some shit. I still don't know really what the fuck that means, but apparently you can. You know. Kev, are you Jeremy Beadle? I don't know that I've ever been insulted worse than that, to be honest. Kev, are you Jeremy Beadle? Jeremy Beadle looked like if a very small pedophile wished he was big. Does that make sense? Find a pic of him. I don't even know that I want to. The fucking disrespect. The absolute violation for you to have compared me to this creature. A fiddler crab crossed with David Brent. That's an amazing description. Fuck me.
Boil like a baby otter.
Jeremy Beadle looked like Jimmy Savile's child catcher. For legal reasons. For legal reasons. Oh, well, that's not a good look. Hang on. Fucking hell, that's sinister. That was the picture they chose for his fucking memorial. Jesus Christ. Oh, is he auditioning for It? Fucking hell. Anyway, for the Americans watching, this technically, I think, human being, I don't really know, was a television presenter in the 1980s and 90s. And again, he's one of those creatures that really only could have been a celebrity in Britain. So fantastically ugly and weird was he. Oh, I laughed a little bit too hard at that one. I may have pulled a muscle in my belly. He did also have a funky hand, but I won't take the piss out of him for that, because, you know, that was the only vaguely humane element of him. Anyway. Chat. I've said this before, chat, but if hope exists, it exists in the pop stars.
Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more.
Billie Eilish is going to lead the proletarian revolution. You heard it here first, folks. Fuck yes. Let's go. She's the 21st century Karl Marx and Lenin rolled into one. Let's fucking do it. And apparently Mark Zuckerberg, who was in attendance, was reportedly upset over Billie Eilish's comments about billionaires. Zuckerberg, here. Good. I hope you're upset. I hope you become increasingly upset. You fucking psychopath. You fucking evil control freak ghoul. You resource depleting monster. I hope you never know a day of peace again in your fucking life. Billie Eilish is cool though. You know who's also cool? Zack motherfucking Polanski. Oh, podcast. He's got podcast. Ooh.
You've heard it said countless times. Donald Trump sneezes, the UK catches a cold. So how worried should we be about a second Donald Trump presidency and everything that's happening in the United States right now? One of the leading voices on the left in the US has been Hasan Piker for years now.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hasan Piker. I live in Los Angeles, California. I'm a socialist Marxist.
He did a mansion. He lives in a big house in California. Pitchforks.
Communist.
And I'm delighted to be chatting to Hasan today.
Hey Zack, Chris Packham here. I just want to tell you about something really exciting. EcoTalk. It's a phone company that helps restore nature, and it's brilliant. You can find out more about it at ecotalk.co.uk.
Chris Packham I love. Advertisements I don't.
Okay.
So Hasan, one of the most surreal experiences I've had since I was elected as leader of the Green Party was seeing you talk about me on your stream. And that's because I've watched your stream for a long time. I've loved your work for a long time. And in fact, on election night, in terms of the US election night, I was watching various American channels before I got really, really sick of the coverage, and I put your coverage on. And it was great. One thing that really struck me, though, was you knew for a long time that Kamala Harris wasn't going to win and America was going to have a second Trump presidency. And it felt that evening like you were almost in like some sort of nihilism, like you were just like, this was the route we were down. Is there any hope? Like, can we come back from this place?
There's always hope. I mean, if you're a leftist, if you're a socialist, Marxist, if you're an anti-imperialist, look around over the course of the past 2 years. And while there's so much chaos and commotion happening everywhere, a lot of people, especially with respect to the genocide that Israel is committing in Gaza, people's attitudes have changed dramatically. And as someone who has been an advocate for Palestinian emancipation for the past decade, I never would have imagined that the attitude shift would be so dramatic.
That is true. And actually, I mean, I did that little joke bit about Billie Eilish at the start. But there's a certain sort of truth to, you know, the underlying point. That the Overton window has massively shifted in certain key aspects, right? The fact that you have culturally important figures talking about, like, why do billionaires exist is a huge thing. The fact that you have now, like, literally APAC or IPAC or EPAC, how do you pronounce it, chat? I don't know. I've never heard of them. The fact that you've got APAC, I nearly said IPAC. I literally nearly did a fucking David IPAC-man. The fact that you've got APAC are now, like, completely cancer, right? Anyone who's taken APAC money has been getting absolutely fucking sharted on online, to the point where APAC now are looking at setting up, like, different PACs that are not called anything sort of APAC related in order to continue trying to fund left candidates, you know, the Democrats, without the stank of IPAC being APAC, EPAC, MEPAC, CPAC being involved in it, because the name is now, you know, toxic, as it fucking always should have been. Anyone who has taken a penny of that blood-soaked money should never ever be allowed to run for any kind of progressive seat ever again. No, it's over for you. You want to do genocide? You don't get our fucking support. Simple. And so there has been definitely a change. There's been a shift in that direction, which is good. Kevpack, yes. As if I've got enough money to have a pack. Thank you, Danger Vince, with 100 bitty bits, and thank you, Man Captain, for 15 streak. Did you see the Hugh Anthony stuff? Well, is that the weird gay fascist in the UK?
Gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be.
He's this weird fascist who's trying to, like, brand himself as I suppose the kind of British Nick Fuentes or something. But it turns out he has a past. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I've been keeping an eye on him, but I haven't really talked. I don't think I've mentioned him at all on stream, actually. He's not sort of relevant enough at this point, I don't think. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if something's happened with him, by all means, Linky, and we'll see.
In only 2 years now, of course, the violence is untenable and it's unacceptable. It's horrifying, but to me, that
what the fuck? He argued with his parents, got his dad arrested, and has been kicked out. LOL.
Is a constant reminder that things can change, that we can organize, and as long as we're steadfast and principled, we can eventually win back some power, and then hopefully give people more liberties, more autonomy.
And in the States, does that change come from within the Democratic Party?
It's difficult to answer that question because this is the question that everybody talks about all the time, myself included. This is an ongoing issue right now. Entryism is not the end-all, be-all, but I do think my own personal assessment of it is that you cannot restructure the Democratic Party to be a socialist party. I don't think that's the case. But I do think that there are readily available tools and a willingness from self-identifying liberals to vote for self-identifying socialists within the Democratic Party. So in the absence of a third-party ticket, in the absence of a third-party viability, I think you just got to use whatever tools are readily available, exhaust all options. And I think one of the major problems in America is the lack of class consciousness. And also
Literally
the adverse reaction to
Literally true, yeah. The Americans that'll go to bat for capitalists is just wild. He blocked me, so I can't quote him, but Jesus fucking Christ, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Genuinely, why would you post this? The total lack of self-awareness is incomprehensible. His poor mum. What a terrible shame this must be for them. So yeah, Hugh Anthony is this British fascist guy. Yeah, okay.
Open the door, my house, I pay for this shit, why not?
Womp womp.
Why not?
Womp womp.
See, this unfortunately, chat, is a case of terminally online, like, brain rot. He thinks he can just go womp womp when, like, that's his mum's house. Like, she pays for that shit. You can't just go womp womp and the problem goes away. Jesus Christ. Honestly, are there a bigger group of fucking losers than fascists? Is that a thing? What is this?
Yes.
I don't know when I'd use that, but Lib Dems are pretty bad, to be fair. But at least Lib Dems aren't as dangerous. I'll give them that.
Oh my God, I pay for this house, I'm phoning 999, telling to tell you, you are...
And what? And what? You're threatening me because we have a difference in opinion. You're gonna smash the door open. Go on. Smash the door open then. Do it. And what? Throw me out because we disagree?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Dues paying working families party member here.
Oh, that's an American thing, isn't it? The Working Families Party thingamajig. Good for you. Thank you, Rachel. You're a regular. I trust that that's a good organisation. I don't know that much about it, really, but it seems cool. Meet me in the marketplace of ideas. Because we disagree when coming from a fascist. Yeah, this is a British fascist guy, Hugh Anthony, who's, like I say, is essentially trying to style himself as like the British Nick Fuentes. Except there are videos of him as a gay twink in a nightclub. Like he was literally a gay twink. And now he's got a really, really gay moustache.
Gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be.
Even the fascists are into it. Weird. Anyway, yeah, and he's an even bigger loser than I already knew him to be.
You're pathetic. I fucking hate you people. I always have. Yeah. How do you think they're gonna? How do you think Nana and Gran are gonna react? You wonder why they're so. Go and smash it open. We disagree. I want to preserve my people, and you want to hurt me because I want to preserve my people. Why? Smash the door open. Do it. Prove it. Prove it. No, smash. If you want to smash the door open because I disagree about who should be in this country, do it. If you want to smash the door open because I disagree who should be in this country, do it.
He's literally got the fucking sign in of the open bit for Discord on his fucking on his desktop. Is he a teenager? No, he's well into his 20s at this point. I don't know exactly how old, but he's an adult. This is not a child. This is a weird fashy adult. I want to preserve my people. Well, I know one white person who definitely won't be breeding. Hugh.
You go drunk, and this is what happens. I can't. They live in Grimsby, mate. It's way too far away.
Do you want to leave?
No.
Why not?
But all you're going to do is shout at me because you're drunk. I don't even understand. What is your problem? What is your problem? What is your problem? You're going to regret this in 10 years' time when I don't speak to you anymore.
Oh, yeah, they'll really regret that.
Mom, you're going to regret this in 10 years' time when I don't speak to you anymore because you rejected me when I was right. You're going to reject this in 10 years' time when I have nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I'm sure they definitely will regret this. They're the people that will regret this interaction. He posted this, by the way. This is the thing he posted.
This is the end, okay. They're going to reject it in 10 years? No. Do it then, because you're trying to smash my door open, because I disagree.
It's not really your door.
Oh, she's crying! Radicalized.
What's your address? Concern he's harming himself.
I'm not harming myself.
What's your concern with him in his room?
I'm a political commentator.
I'm a political commentator. What the fuck is this, man? Oh. Jesus Christ. What an absolute knob piece. Really. What is this?
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
Very much so.
Really right when he's posting
Oh my
stuff
God.
online, he's shouting at us and refusing to come at his
This
face.
is so dramatic.
I'm so sorry.
You don't scare me, Dad.
Do I not?
No.
Do I not?
What is wrong with you?
Do I-
Why are you assaulting me?
Do I not?
Why are
scare
you assaulting me? Why are you assaulting me?
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
What the fuck, man? I think that one's for the soundboard. Shut the fuck up, you parasite. Someone clip it. Someone clip it. It's going on the fucking board. Let's have you.
I have brought you up for fucking 20 years.
Let me leave.
What the fuck have you become?
Let me leave.
What have you become?
Let
I
me
want
walk-
you to leave. Jesus Christ, we're not.
Then let me walk out that door. Let me walk out that door.
Have you?
Let me walk out that door.
What
Let
have
me
you become?
walk out that door.
Answer my question.
Nothing. I just want to preserve this nation. Do you not understand?
You were not.
Jesus, mate. Look. I just want to preserve this nation. They're trying to kick you out of their house. Get real. What the fuck? He seems genuinely disappointed. Yeah, I think he must be, yeah. Yeah, he must be. No doubt about it. Fucking hell.
Win this war.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
I'm leaving this house. Right
I
now.
want you to leave. I don't want you to come back.
I'm leaving right now.
I want you to go right now.
I'm leaving
Go.
right now.
Go.
Oh my God!
I'm
now
leaving.
he's filming us.
No, I'm leaving.
You, I have nothing to hide.
You're off to jail tonight, by the way. You just assaulted me.
You just assaulted me. Yeah, fair enough. Jesus Christ. Imagine a fascist being like, oh, you assaulted me. You want to set up camps, mate? Sort yourself the fuck out.
I want to leave. I want nothing to do with you.
Off your pop. Off your pop.
Go away. Go away. What is wrong with you?
Don't come back.
Off your pop. Oh, I mean, for the dad. Yeah, W's in chat. W's in chat. That's a massive dad win. Fuck yes. Do you think fascist families should disown them? Well, there comes a point, like with any debilitating problem, there comes a point where to just do nothing is enabling, right? We learnt this with my my elder brother, who was, he won't mind me saying this because I'm not revealing his name or anything, but he was a drug addict and he was in and out of prison. He had some problems. And there comes a point where trying to protect that person isn't actually helping them. Trying to like shield them from the consequences of their actions doesn't actually help them. And essentially you need to allow them to hit rock bottom for them to ever do anything. Now that's very dangerous, but ultimately it's the only way. Once you pass a certain point of like behavioural complete disintegration and malfunction, right? And that's true with it's drug addiction, fascism, radicalisation in a number of ways. Like there's a point at which you can't realistically help that person anymore. So you need to, yeah, cut them off. Now, if they get better, you have to, I think it's incumbent upon you to try and rehabilitate that person. If they're genuinely sorry for their actions and they come back and they're on the path to health again, by all means. But essentially, you're not helping them by, like, if they just let him live rent-free in that back room doing fascist propaganda for the rest of his life, or the rest of their lives, he's not going to achieve anything. And he'll probably end up in the nick or getting stabbed up or something. So, at what point is that actually helping him? Or them? Because they're going to fucking suffer as well. No one wins in that situation. So him getting out of that situation is for the best, really. For everyone. Like, it'll hurt the family, because, like, you're right, like he said, like the dad said, you could see how fucking angry and disappointed he was. I've raised you for 20 years. What the fuck have you become? It's horrible, but, you know. But this shouldn't be fucking public anyway. He shouldn't have posted this. As if you'd post this, like this is a win for him or something. Do you see how oppressed I am? No, you're just a fucking loser. You're a pathetic loser. You've assaulted me. Suck a dick, mate. Anyway. Where were we?
To even the moniker of socialism. Most people don't know what socialism is. And those who have heard about it have been properly... they've been educated against socialism. They hate it. They think it's a bad thing. So...
oh, yeah, I hadn't even thought... Yeah, their house would be targeted, yeah. Absolutely, yeah, that would endanger them. Having him in the house would endanger them, yeah.
I think it's important for people to, at the very least, become more comfortable with the ideology as it's happening right now in America. I think it's like 65% of Democratic Party voters say that they sympathize with socialism. And I think even 16% is an even weirder number of Republican Party voters also sympathize with socialism. I guess those are the national socialists. I don't know what's going on there. And somewhere around, I think, like 45% of independents. So that's what I think leftists could do, while not ever stopping their organizing. It's a multifaceted approach. This is just one of those. This is just one aspect of a multifaceted approach.
That reflects.
Very much so. Very much so. You have clipped that appallingly. Thank you. That is basically unusable. I'll find it myself if no one else clipped it.
reflects a lot of what's going on in the UK right now. Bloomberg did a piece about me the other day that was meant to be, I think, a hit piece that compared me to Zoran Mamdani. And I spoke to the Washington Post.
Oh, the Mamdani hate is so funny. They've got nothing. They've got absolutely nothing on him. Did you see this, by the way, chat? Firstly, why is it that Israel is the only place in the world that produces no funny Jews? Everywhere else, the very talented group of people known as Jews create some of the funniest cunts in the world, man. Just some of the best comedy writers and actors that have ever existed. But Israel is such a poisoned society that this is the best they can do.
Hi, I'm Zoran Mamdani, candidate for mayor of New York City. To my Jewish friends and neighbors, shalom. Let me start by wishing you all a happy new year, or as you say in Hebrew, intifada tova.
Cut! It's Shana Tova. You said intifada.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it again.
And action.
Hey, to all my Jewish New Yorkers, tonight we celebrate Rosh Hashanah with a festive family dinner and dance joyfully to the beloved song, Jihada, Nagil Jihada.
Cut! I'm pretty sure it's Hava Nagila.
Oh, of course, of course.
Action!
I want to reassure you, I embrace all cultures. I love bagels, and I also love Hamas.
Hummus.
Hummus. God.
Action!
Dear Jewish friends, I promise you, I will fight anti-Semitism. I think about the Holocaust every day, that horrible time when Jews were transported by trains to the concentration camps. And it always reminds me of how my aunt stopped taking the train because she was afraid to go with a hijab after 9/11.
What?
Vote for me, and together we'll make New York City better and safer for Jews from Islamophobia. I'm Zoran Mamdani, and I approve this massacre. Message.
Very cringe.
Exceptionally cringe. That was supposed to be humour, apparently. And yes, I think it was also blackface. But that wasn't even the thing I was going to talk about. Where is it? Did you see the big scoop? Oh, this is... Honestly, I don't know that Mamdani can come back from this. Honestly, I think it's over. I think I'm going to have to take back my many illegal votes for him in all 5 boroughs. The New York Post writes, not a piano man. Zoran Mamdani doesn't recognise Billy Joel in quiz about famous New York songs. You know, that actually very, very culturally significant character, Billy Joel. Because apparently... it's still 1980 fucking 6. They've got nothing. They've got absolutely nothing. He's running against a guy with like a dozen or more credible sexual assault allegations against him. And the best they can dredge up on Mamdani is he didn't recognise crusty old fuck Billy Joel. Like, is Zoran Mamdani literally like the cleanest politician ever? Because, like, if he had any dirt, they'd have dredged it up, right? They'd have done everything they can. And this is the best they have. Is he some sort of saint? Is he some sort of pure distillation of sunlight in a world of darkness? Because this is all they've got, and it's literally nothing. Nothing. At all. Fuck me. He will nationalise sausages, that is true.
Yesterday, that famous leftist organisation, and they're doing a piece this weekend, I think, about what's going on in the UK with me and what's going on in New York with Zoran.
Yeah, for the Americans, this is the British Zoran. And again, I extend my invitation from Zoran to use me like a fucking ragdoll to Zack Polanski as well. All of my holes are yours to do with as you wish.
I don't think the Washington Post are necessarily coming from a place where they want to see a big left-wing transformation in the world. But nevertheless, do you think there is a moment right now, both in the States and around the world, and what sense do you get that if Zoran does win in November, and I think it's looking pretty good without being complacent, what ripples will that have around the world?
I think it'll be pretty significant for the National Democratic Party and its outlook. I think socialists, democratic socialists, like people like Zoran Mamdani are basically saving the Democratic Party from itself.
Yeah, exactly.
It shows me that liberals, by and large, which is as it stands, unfortunately, the most mass political movement that we have. People who just simply self-identify as liberals, or people who are liberals start realizing it. People who might have sympathetic values to Marxists and socialists, but just think that they're liberals. The people that think that liberals are the left, right? I think it shows them that a charismatic, young, vibrant, dynamic candidate who is unafraid to call himself a socialist and is unafraid to call out Israel for doing a genocide, who is going to work tirelessly to solve some of the material harms that you're experiencing. That is a successful candidacy. And I think, by and large, liberals just don't want the Republicans to be in charge. They just don't want the Republicans to win. They are understandably disturbed with what the Trump administration is doing. And they're also pretty frustrated with the lack of response from the Democratic Party, from the establishment Democrats. So I think this would spell the beginning of a tide shift, hopefully.
And it moves the Overton window as well. We've seen that with Zack Polanski. We've seen it with Zoran Mamdani. We saw it with Bernie Sanders. We saw it with John Crumbly Concretes as well. The Jam Man, literally putting things on the agenda that weren't previously, to the point where politicians then, politicians who'd never even considered these things, all of a sudden have to consider them. If you remember the broadband communism of Jeremy Corbyn, that became Tory party and indeed government policy 2 years later because he put it on the agenda. They have to notice, you know. Oh, it's on the soundboard.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
That's getting used. That's every time a landlord gets mentioned.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
Let's go. Thank you to, was it, oh shit. Was it Wayward, I think, who did that? Wayward historian put so much more effort into this than me. Far more. God bless her.
A much larger way than we saw with the Justice Democrats in the 2018 midterms.
I was interviewed last night by Mehdi Hasan on Zateo, and I know he interviewed...
It's just all the Hassans. He's swarmed with Hassans. Actually, don't clip that. Jesus Christ.
It was around a couple of weeks ago.
Get me cancelled.
Something he asked him about was Donald Trump has already said that if Zoran wins, Trump will do everything he can to disrupt unless he, quote-unquote, behaves himself. How much of that is a credible threat? I'm not aware too much of the centralization in American politics of how much...
Oh, was it Zoshalik? Sorry. I just followed the thing that... what do you call it posted? Wayward posted it in the chat. So it was Zoshalix. I apologise. Thank you to Zoshalix for cropping it and for Wayward for linking it to me. Now can you all get off my dick? Don't forget you can give me money.
Trump can tie the hands of a New York mayor.
Oh, it's it's not just tying the hands of the New York mayor. Trump is unprecedented in the way that he's behaving, for sure. I mean, he is the logical conclusion to a multi-decade-long project called the unitary executive theory that Republicans have been trying to establish in America for quite a while. It's just a way to consolidate power in the hands of the executive, basically turn the White House into a monarchy. And Donald Trump happens to be the perfect guy to do it, or at least all of the people that are surrounding him do have that deliberate and direct interest.
No, this would be the point at which you'd say, well, they should be careful what they wish for, because what about if a Democrat gets in? But the Democrats seem, even if there is a fair election next time, seem intent on putting up someone who cannot win. So there will never be the Democratic king of America. There will only ever be Republicans forever now. Because even though the American public don't really want it, the Democrats are so shit, they keep putting up candidates who cannot win, even against orange rapists or weird fucking couch humpers. Unbelievable. Yeah, Kamala Buttigieg? That's his name, isn't it? Yeah. 2028. Honestly, just fucking end it. If they put either Kamala or Buttigieg in either of the positions on the ticket, call it a day, lads. Call it a day. America is finished. It's over.
And conducting this centralization of power. Trump is just the guy who's crazy enough to not even realize that he's doing it, or it just suits his narcissistic tendencies. But yes, he absolutely will do everything in his power to hurt New York and New Yorkers. But I think New Yorkers are not fearful of that. They understand that this is the finance capital of America. This is where Wall Street is. It's a fairly powerful constituency, fairly powerful.
Your brother is interesting, 255. That's all I'll say.
Powerful people live there, and there are interests outside of like simple class interests of like destroying the city that I think people might react negatively to. What I mean by that is a lot of people that live there love New York. They care about it quite a bit. You got a lot of journalists there. There's going to be a lot of resentment from people, not directed towards Zoran, but instead directed towards the administration. And I think people will put up a strong fight, and that's probably a better alternative than Andrew Cuomo, who is already a right winger
and a rapist,
but
slapping fannies and killing grannies.
Also, has a DOJ case hanging over his head that would make him just as compromised as Eric Adams is.
Gosh,
Yeah.
it's quite the mess there. Trump, in the last kind of 48 hours.
That's such a British response. Gosh, that's a real situation there. I wonder what Americans make of Polanski. Because he is very British. And I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Has finally put on, I say finally, he's put on sanctions on President Putin. We've seen kind of his relationship with Putin and Zelensky. Kind of, he's just.
Oh no, Hasan, don't do it, mate. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it, mate. Oh no. Don't ask Hasan about the Ukraine thing. I don't want to get into that again. Ever.
Flip-flopping all over the place and doesn't seem to have taken a clear stance. I was asked about this last night, and I basically said that I think Donald Trump cares about one thing only, and that's Donald Trump.
True.
Do you get
He's
a
listening.
more sense of a nuanced...
Zack, you're obviously listening, mate. Whether it's live or on the VOD afterwards, God bless you. You're clearly listening, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to have my political takes. A little shout out wouldn't hurt, though, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Also, I made this, this was my thumbnail for the video I did about him today. Graphic design is my passion. Okay? Because I'm suggesting that he's the Chad. Because anyway. You're very welcome.
position on what Trump actually feels about Russia and Ukraine, and also whether he cares what the American public think about that, or if he's playing another game.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump just cares about Donald Trump. Like there was no interest. Like even with the Gaza peace plan, the so-called Gaza peace plan, there's no like real interest. There's no real humanitarian interest from the Trump side. He just wanted to, I think, set up business deals with Gulf states.
True. Yeah. Also, he's literally about to go and do. Oh, what the fuck? He's about to start a war with Venezuela as well. Like, they're literally about to start attacking in Venezuela. So keep an eye out for that. I especially want to take a moment to just give a little shout out to Cenk Uygur, who told us that Trump was the peace candidate. And that Trump would definitely not start any new wars. Thanks to the polymarket populists for that take.
And also thought that like Israel was losing too much momentum and goodwill around the world, and he just wanted to set up business deals. And he was just like, all right, enough. Like, and that ceasefire is on tenuous ground. It might not hold, but I'm just saying that like that was the major motivator for him. It wasn't like the humanity of Palestinians, right? And the same thing goes for Ukraine and Russia. I don't think he cares one way or another. I think he has a lot of sympathies towards Putin. I think he respects Putin. He has a lot of reverence for Putin, just as he does for Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and even Xi Jinping. Like what he considers to be like a charismatic authoritarian strongman, he has a lot of respect for.
Yeah, I've said this before. Name me a dictator he didn't like, and name me a democratically elected leader he did. He's a gobshite.
I'm not putting Xi in the same category as these other guys, but I'm just saying like he likes someone who commands respect. I'll give you another example. Claudia Sheinbaum. I think Donald Trump always had a good relationship with AMLO, and he has a decent working relationship with Claudia Sheinbaum as well, despite their ideological differences. And I think that's because like he sees someone being charismatic, and he like that works for him. Anyway, I'm all over the place. What I was trying to say is, the real story with Russia and Ukraine isn't necessarily Trump's own narcissistic tendencies, his own personal selfish desires. I think the real story is multipolarity. And not only multipolarity, but I think the lack of cards that America truly has in this struggle, in the absence of trying to approach this in a more unified fashion and trying to bring other larger partners, senior partners in the coalition on the opposing side to the treaty table as well. And what I'm talking about is China. I think there is no way out of the Russian invasion of Ukraine by simply assuming that you have a decent relationship with Vladimir Putin. Putin has shown time and time again he is going to manipulate Donald Trump. He has already manipulated Donald Trump. He has floated the notion of a ceasefire, knowing full well that it would have positive reverberations for Donald Trump. It's something that he ran on, right? Putin's very aware of Trump's background and Trump's promises. And yet he's dangled that ceasefire in front of him only to continue extending the process, only to continue fighting and even taking over additional territories. The first time he actually dangled the ceasefire, he got Donald.
Trump's a fucking idiot, man. Like a genuine... Like, you can play Trump very easily.
Trump to actually humiliate Zelensky in this previously unheard of fashion. It was just so insane to like ruin your own proxy, your own ally, whatever you want to call it, like to ritualistically humiliate them.
That wasn't for Putin, though, specifically. That was because he wanted all the minerals in Ukraine. Because, again, he's purely transactional. He just does transaction nonsense. Ukraine wants my help. I want something in return for that. There's no principle. There's no previously agreed upon thing that is just going to hold. No. I have to get the maximum out of it. Because he's just a shyster. He's a mafia man. Shaking down yet another victim.
while simultaneously aligning with your adversary is not exactly art of the deal stuff. But maybe that's what his ghostwriter wrote in there. I don't know. But my point is, I don't think that Donald Trump can establish a long-standing treaty without trying to bring China on board as well. And I don't think he's going to do that anytime soon, because China is the major. There's only two ways to handle this. There's only two ways to handle every crisis, but especially this one as well. You either keep increasing the militancy, you keep sending more weapons, you send the Tomahawks, you say, oh, you can start hitting long-range targets. But ultimately, if this conflict is going to be resolved on the battle lines, like who has leverage, depending on the battle lines, then Russia is doing quite well. A lot better than they were doing when they went into Kyiv and then they got pushed back, right? That was when America and the Western powers had the maximum amount of leverage. And I think that Western powers actually failed to do the right thing in that moment. Having said that, ever since then, with the spring counteroffensive failing and with...
Oh, stop dick teasing me, YouTube. Look at that. 17,999. Are you taking the fucking piss? I need one person to subscribe to the YouTube. One! Fucking... I'm gonna unsub. Suck my dick! I hate my audience so much. That's ridiculous. You little fuck. I've just noticed Kev's haircut makes him look like Polanski's brother. A secret brother he desperately wants the media not to know about. Oh. Absolutely fucking roasted. Absolutely fucking torched. There's no coming back from that. That is third-degree burns all over the Kev.
Ukrainian numbers diminishing, Ukrainian manpower diminishing, and the appetite for continuing even the...
Who made that? That was obviously 255. There's no one... Like, that had the ring of 255 all over it. Absolute lunatic. God bless him.
This defense is going away in the eyes of Ukrainians by and large. It feels like they can't make up for it with more weapons. Like, they can't make a stronger defense with more weapons. They need more people. And in the absence of, like, I don't know, invoking Article 5 or sending in standing militaries from other countries, which I don't think anyone's going to do, you...
Whoppa! Hey! Do I have any celebration thing? No. I need I can do that.
Epic dub.
Bit short though. Bit short.
Finally, those capitalist pigs will pay for their crimes, eh? Hey, comrades, eh?
Thank you, everyone. It's been emotional. Now 2 people unsubscribe. Hey! People subscribing. Fuck yes. Let's go.
You have to, and also, you know, trying to escalate on the sanctions side, which Trump is trying to do right now by, like, by attacking India. I just don't think that that moving in that direction is going to solve this, because I don't think America has as much global power as it once did. So you got to move in the opposite direction and try to set up like a multilateral treaty with other partners on the adversary side.
And zooming in on this kind of issue of charisma and leaders with charisma, how do we on the left kind of walk this tightrope between needing someone who is the leader of a movement who can say, follow me, let's go, and do the community organizing, but without people losing their own agency and empowerment, and instead just looking to a figure and saying, you know, tell me where to go. Whereas...
I think we've seen that to a degree with the Your Party group, who do seem to have something of a god complex to them. It's not even Portland. It's not even Portland, lads. How'd you go for a piss in one of those? How do you do anything in one of those? God knows.
Our politics on the left is the complete opposite of that, which is about empowering people to organize themselves. But
true.
Do you think in 2025, with social media, with capitalism, with the world we kind of need those figures, or where do you sit on that?
See, he's clearly watching me. Zack, give me a bell, lad. I'll get you on. We'll have a chat on that, you know? Because I was literally doing the self-empowerment bit yesterday about how the government aren't the guarantors of the working class's freedom. Only the working class can empower themselves. He's a regular watcher, clearly. If someone wants to gift a sub to Zack Polanski, assuming he's not already subbed under a different name. Curious.
I don't think like a singular great man is going to move history. I've never been a believer in that. I will, however...
Untrue. Bernie can still win. Fact.
Say that good leadership is a necessity at all times. Charismatic leadership is a necessity for sure.
I do hate vanguardism. I'll be absolutely honest about that, yeah. I think it's bollocks.
Because I think good leadership is capable of emboldening people, galvanizing people, getting them excited, and getting them to organize. So it's never a bad thing.
255 asks, would you believe me if I said I'm Zack Polanski? Well, as I have the same journalistic quality as the Times of London, yes, I would. If you told me you were the former mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, I would believe you. Because why would you lie about that? If you said you were Zack Polanski, I'd believe you. If you said you were Mother Teresa, I would believe you. Why would I question any of these things? Okay?
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
It's never a bad thing to have leaders who get their notes from the masses on the socialist side, on the socialist movement side, but are empathetic, unafraid to be radical and bold, that will then, I think, instill confidence upon the masses to also feel the same way, to also be able to express their discontent at times, or to organize.
Why do you think there's been a lack of that leadership on the left? And maybe I'm not clearly nearly as familiar with left-wing politics in the States as you are. I'm pretty familiar. But I felt like before Zoran came along, for instance, we were looking at people like Pete Buttigieg, which, you know, I think there's a strong argument if that's a left-wing politician, but was certainly without a doubt, he's someone who was able to communicate in a way that spoke to people's hopes and fears. But that often feels like there's a desert of it on the left.
Yeah, I don't think Pete Buttigieg is a good example of this because obviously good leadership alone is not going to float you.
Right.
Now, I think they're dancing around the central issue here about whether you need leadership or emancipation from underneath and all the rest of it. And I think I know a more pithy, straight to the point explainer of this topic. 1 second. Stick with me, chat. Stick with me.
Old woman! Man, sorry. What knight lives in that castle over there?
I'm 37.
What?
I'm 37. I'm not old.
Well, I can't just call you man.
You could say Dennis.
I didn't know you were called Dennis.
Well, you didn't bother to find out, did you?
I did say sorry about the old woman, but from behind you looked...
What I object to is you automatically treat me like an inferior.
Well, I am king.
Oh, king, eh? Very nice. And how'd you get that, eh? By exploiting the workers. By hanging on to outdated imperialist dogma which perpetuates the economic and social differences in our society. If there's ever going to be any progress...
Dennis, there's some lovely filth down here. Oh, how'd you do?
How do you do, good lady? I am Arthur, King of the Britons. Whose castle is that?
King of the who?
The Britons.
Who are the Britons?
Well, we all are. We are all Britons. And I am your king.
Oh, didn't know we had a king. I thought we were an autonomous collective.
You're fooling yourself. We're living in a dictatorship. A self-perpetuating autocracy in which the working classes...
Oh, there you go, bringing class into it again.
Well, that's what it's all about. If only people...
I can't wait for this character to be cancelled on Twitter for class reductionism.
Please, good people, I am in haste. Who lives in that castle?
No one lives there.
Then who is your lord?
We don't have a lord.
What? I told you, we're an anarcho-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week.
Yes.
But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting.
Yes, I see.
By a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs.
Be quiet.
But by a 2/3 majority in the case of more
Be quiet. I order you to be quiet.
Order, who does he think he is?
I am your king.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
You don't vote for kings.
Well, how'd you become king, then?
The lady of the lake.
I didn't vote for you.
Arm clad in the purest shimmering samite, held aloft Excalibur from the bosom of the water, signifying by divine providence that I, Arthur, was to carry Excalibur. That is why I'm your king.
Listen, strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
True.
Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony.
True.
But you can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you.
Shut up!
I mean, if I went round saying I was an emperor, just because some moistened bint had lobbed a scimitar at me,
Moistened
they put me
bint.
away.
Shut up! Will you shut up?
Oh.
Now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system. Help! Help! I'm being repressed. Bloody prison. Oh, what a giveaway! Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Eh? That's what I'm on about. Did you see him repressing me? You saw it, didn't you?
I would go so far as say like Barack Obama is a better example of this. Like he was a charismatic leader, he was an orator, and he brought about perhaps the most devastating blow to the progressive movement. Like he
was a piece of shit and a warmonger and the drone king and should be at The Hague. Piece of garbage. That is fucking demented. That is amazing. Fucking memes.
Epic dub.
Massive dad dubs. If anyone knows that dad, let him know. I will happily buy him a pint. Fuck yes. Let's go.
He had an organizational tool called Obama for America. He basically put it under the DNC. He shuttered it. The organization was supposed to actually work as a bully pulpit mechanism when he was in office, right? He was going to use this million door knocker army to just like go and demand Medicare for all, right? Or the public option, an expansion of social safety nets and stuff like that. And he didn't do that. And I would say that his charisma and his skills actually definitely
excellent poll results there, by the way. Almost as good as the poll results that the Green Party's getting right now. Second place, bitches.
Emboldened a lot of people and definitely caused them to. I mean, he's a once in a lifetime candidate for that reason. But the reason why I wouldn't compare him to Pete Buttigieg is because one, Pete Buttigieg is nowhere nearly as charismatic, and two, Pete Buttigieg doesn't even have like the background that Obama did. Like Obama was fairly radical when he was running, and the way he had designed himself in Chicago politics, like you know, a lot of the
his dad's a Tory though. Yeah, obviously, yeah. But you know,
shut the fuck up, you parasite.
You gotta love it. You got to love it.
Early allies that he dropped with a little bit of scrutiny were people that had actually built up his brand as like somewhat of a young radical. Jeremiah Wright being a great example of this, or
God damn America.
I mean, he was pictured with Rashid Khalidi and Edward Said. Like, this is a man who was very well read and who was very knowledgeable about all these issues, all of this.
He said that poll doesn't get. Well, Phil Morehouse is silly. He's a silly man.
Justice happening all around the world, and he dropped it. But I think that caused him to also win a lot of favors with the masses as well. It caused him to be more like, I think using some of that revolutionary language is what made more people tune in and get excited about him.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I also realize I'm not talking about AOC and the squad and Bernie Sanders. I realize that everyone's been on a journey though with some of these guys in terms of in times they felt like they really
Everyone go follow Story Girl immediately.
Were the answer, and at times they've been deeply disappointing. How do you navigate as someone who is there to essentially commentate on these things? You're not there to necessarily pick a side, and certainly not unconditionally pick a side, but people who have compromised on some of the worst things to compromise at different points.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie was a big disappointment these past 2 years. It made me very sad as someone who I think is very important.
Yeah, he has done the "it's just Netanyahu that's the problem" type shit. It's very annoying.
Important figure in contemporary American politics. Like,
right.
I never would have thought that he'd just be hard stuck on liberal Zionism. You know, like the person who in 2016 was advocating to deny weapons transfers to Israel on his presidential nomination run.
My procedure. What procedure did it? What?
Never thought that he would just go, and that's all I want to do. I thought a person that was doing that in 2016 would be an avowed anti-Zionist and just like seeking to expand the permission structure. And yet it turned out that
Bernie was saying that Trump was good on border security. What? Is that true? Oh, the haircut. Oh, so okay. Wasn't that? Look, chat. I had some hair and then I cut it off. It's not that big a deal, lads. Come on now. Come on now.
He's a very stubborn guy, and that's just like, he does have a hard line there. Now, he doesn't stop other people who are far more radical than he is.
He said he wished Biden had done more. Oh no. Does anyone have a link for that Bernie clip? Oh, that's gross. If he said that, and it's not like out of context or something. Oh no. Bernard, are you going to break my heart, my man? Is that what you're going to do? I'm asking you one more time not to be a wanker.
If you don't have any borders, then you don't have a nation, right? In a sense. So has historically the United States done well under Democrats and Republicans in protecting the border? The answer is no. Trump did a better job. I don't like Trump, but we should have a secure border, and it ain't that hard to do. Biden didn't do it. Those before him did not do it. We should have a secure border, period. If you don't have any borders...
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt!
I feel like I've been punched in the gut. I feel like I've actually been punched in the stomach. I feel ill. Can we have a palate cleanser? Can someone send me some cute cats or something? Just... That's very, very disappointing. And bullshit, because, like, Biden was horrific on the border as well. He deported loads of people. He still had kids in cages. And the fucking... The nonsense of liberals before the election going, whoa, there are kids in cages. We need to do something about that. We need And then when Biden got in and kept the kids in cages, they were just like, I'm going back to brunch. I hate this timeline so much. I really do. This is my left, man. This is my left, dog. Oh, angry kitty shark. See, that's what you need. Some chicken soup for the soul, right there. Rabbits are dope. I'm on board with rabbits. Oh, he's got a box. Oh, there's two of them. Is that a dog? That's a dog. That's just a big... Oh, no, it's not. It's a big bunny rabbit. It's got the markings of a dog, though. It confused me. I thought it was a fucking Labrador or some shit. Oh, he's got a fucking hole in the side of the thing. Look at this lad. Look at the fucking speed. Acrobatics and shit. I wasn't expecting athleticism here. Look at this lad. Oh, turns on a sixpence. Get him up front for the Blues. Let's have you. Oh, absolutely beautiful activity. Fucking ninja. Absolute ninja. Look at him. Oh, he's gone. The big lad's got no chance. He's got no chance. He's too lumbering. Look. By the time he gets there, boom, he's gone. Fuck yes. Good night, Vicky Clay. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy whatever you're up to. Epic.
Far more to his left from running. He will stand by their side. He doesn't shy away from promoting them for being anti-Zionist. So I respect that. But we have to be critical of the people that we admire. But we also have to, I think, look at it with a broader perspective. While he's doing that, he's also moving the needle in a positive direction for a lot of other issues. I will always come at this from the recognition of what Bernie has done and what he means for the modern left movement in the United States of America. And for that reason, like, that's just not something you can take away from him. All of his...
Yeah, but that fucking border thing is whack. Like, he's gone a long way to sullying his reputation with this, like, weak-ass fucking liberal Zionist shit for the last couple of years. Re-damaging shaft. What? I'm not sure that's a palate cleanser. I can't give a duck, but thank you. Yeah, Bernie's gone a long way to destroying his reputation with fucking bullshit, liberal Zionism, and that border thing. Honestly, gross, fucking gross.
All of his life's work.
What a wanker.
In that regard, it's just not something you can take away from him. So, you know, I will always have my disagreements on issues and disappointments, but I will always be serious in my criticism. My expectations are always matched to what I consider the mean to be. In terms of congressional performance, my expectations for him are much better, but he's still one of the best.
Agreed. I think that's a really nuanced answer, that people can be flawed, and actually, when we support people, they're not like football teams or soccer teams. We don't have to support them all the time or support the other one. You can kind of recognize people's achievements at different times and have a much more kind of transactional relationship with who you support.
Yeah.
I jumped straight into this interview because I was excited to talk to you and find out your opinions on things. I realized I missed a pretty big bit, which is I know exactly who you are, but for the UK audience, some of them who won't know who you are, who are you and what do you do?
What's up, everybody? I'm Hasan Piker.
Terrorist lover, dog abuse. He isn't those things. I'm just joking. Yeah, exactly. You have to condemn both Hamas and Hasan Piker. True.
Live in Los Angeles, California. I'm a socialist, Marxist, communist.
I'm doing it again.
Leftist political commentator here in the United States of America, and yeah, that's it. I live stream on Twitch every single day for 7 hours every day now. I've lowered the amount of hours. It used to be 8 to 10. Now it's around 7 to 8. 7
is
days
that
a week.
all?
I started part-time in 2018 when I was working at the Young Turks, and I started doing this Twitch stuff, and then I went full-time in 2020.
And I often think about this when people are really engaged with politics in the way that you are, ever think, actually, things are so bad right now, I have a lot to offer or contribute. I want to get involved, or I want to do something, I want to speech write, or I want to go.
This is the only Hasan moment you need.
And so here we are. I'm living up to what I said about conservatives and progressives. We're having a conversation. So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Yeah. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid video, dude.
On a campaign, or do you see your role as and this isn't to dismiss your role? I think commentary is really important, and you're clearly doing important things. But I guess I'm putting myself in your shoes. There's no way I'd be able to go, no, I just want to go fix that now. But maybe that's why we do different roles.
Yeah, I mean, I do everything short of actually running.
Jeremy or Bernie? Who's the bigger letdown? Oh, wow. Oh, shit, that's super difficult. Should we do a list? Should we do a list of things that the two have got fucked up? Let's purity test them live on stream, shall we? That's what I reckon we do. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Okie doke. 1 second. Ooh. No, that's not what I wanted. That's also not what I wanted, you prick. There we go. Boom. Right, let's go. I was going to put Adolf Hitler, but no, let's be serious, right? Right, so with Bernie, you've got liberal Zionist, shite / only criticize, to size Netanyahu. Trump was good on border. Jeremy Corbyn, what we got? Caved to anti-Semitism smears. In party with transphobes / landlords. What else we got, chap? What else we got? Crumblins is a two-state, is it? Two-state bullshit. What we got, chat? The recent Your Party shit has changed how I see Jezza. Well, the same with me, yeah, absolutely. Pro-Brexit Jezza. Yeah. Put Keir Starmer as shadow Brexit. Yeah. What else we got for Bernie? I don't want this to be just one-sided. What else we got, chat? Transphobe hugger Jeremy. Yeah, I think I've got that. Still working with the corrupt union official. Text is tiny, is it? Oh, it is tiny. Sorry. What I can do is give it some of that activity and then bigger it. There we go. Yeah. Does Bernie have a mental brother? Yeah, no, that's true. Does not have a mental rapping brother. Total letdown. Disgraceful. Two-state reprobate. Fuck yes. I wish I could fucking type. Airing drama on Your Party. Yeah, that's true. So I mean, I don't know. There are more things listed against Jeremy Corbyn. That is to be sure. But I'm still... I have to say, chat, member of Labour after the Iraq War, that's true. Although fucking Bernie Sanders has stood on the same ticket as, you know, as a... Well, technically he's an independent, but he caucuses with the Democrats, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, supported the crime bill. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with Bernie still, I think. I think Bernie is the bigger letdown. At least Corbyn, I mean, he's a two-state reprobate, but at least he's... I think at least he's actually anti-Zionist, where I think Bernie is just a liberal Zionist, really. His criticisms of Israel are just milquetoast, weak sauce nonsense. Yeah. So, yeah, fuck Bernie Sanders.
For office, like I talk to politicians, both privately and out in public, interview them. I work with campaigns. I have a community that is almost entirely filled to the brim with door knockers, organizers, labor leaders, and the like. So, that's a fairly powerful tool for change. In terms of like what I see my role as, I'm just a regular dude that sees right from wrong and wants to express his discontent, or at least give people the tools to understand exactly what to get mad at. Because I think there's a lot of anger and resentment in the air right now, but most people...
Well, no, I don't think Bernie being Jewish is like an excuse that's acceptable. Don't get me wrong, I understand that there's a lot of Zionist pressure that's applied to Jewish people throughout their lives to support Israel and all the rest of it. But people like Zack Polanski show that you don't have to cave to that pressure. Like, it's horrible that Jewish people get put in that situation. But that doesn't mean that they don't have agency in any of this. There are lots of incredibly based and awesome Jewish people who don't go along they don't go along with the Zionist bullshit. So that's not an excuse, I don't think. It's like a reason, to be sure. But there are fucking based... Yeah, Sam Cedar, Zack Polanski, Michael Rosen. Incredibly based people on Palestine. So you don't have to... Just because you're a Jewish person doesn't mean you have to go along with the nonsense. I understand why lots of them do for like an easy life, but that doesn't mean that you can't criticize them for choosing an easy life over righteousness. Lona made I presume that's Lona Box, made a video against Mamdani. Well, slightly against him, and it was a push, and to put it lightly. Did you see? I did not see, but if you link it, I'll check it out.
People don't understand exactly who's causing the pain that is making them angry.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much anger going on. So what drives you? Because presumably you're not just driven by the anger.
I don't know. People say it's because I'm autistic and I have a stubborn but strong moral compass that I just abide by. That's probably a little bit. That probably has a little bit to do with it. I genuinely don't know. I'm a very...
You couldn't pay me enough money to watch this fucking video. Tucker Carlson, who my friend Gil wants to get to know, and Nick Fuentes, ditto. There's no torture you could inflict upon me to make me watch this. Absolute garbage.
Very stubborn person. And this is just something I've always cared about. I feel like injustice is unacceptable. And it's not like I wouldn't say I'm a victim to it. I mean, I've lived a fairly privileged life. I came from an affluent background, and but it's just something that I've always been frustrated with, and I genuinely don't know what it is. I think that at its root, I guess if I were to think about it, I think it's inappropriate and messed up that people don't get an honest shake simply because of where they're born, and some people having more than others due to their starting position. I think is completely unacceptable, and that there are so many people out there around the world.
God. Do we watch it, chat? Do we watch fucking paid up Zionist shill Loner Box? The real reason Mamdani is being grilled on Israel. What do you reckon, chap? Hasan is boring me. Yeah, he is pretty boring, actually. Let's have a look.
We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF.
Yeah.
The fact is, the technically true thing, the number of American law enforcement officials who have actually gone to Israel for training is about 1,000 in the last 20 years. It's not that many. This largely started in the wake of 9/11 because of counterterror. That's just completely false. It's just completely false. And using a phrase like that when you have the NYPD boot on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF, you're just propelling an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
Fair and balanced.
Like, that's what that is. It's just it's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. Zohran Mamdani, mayoral candidate, United States. As of the last polling I've checked, seems the most likely one to win. Not least of all because his opponent is a disgraced sex pest dipshit Andrew Cuomo.
Disgraced sex pests? Like the guy you went to Israel with? You know.
Also because he runs a very good campaign. He talks about issues that are important to people in New York. I think since obviously crime rates have been dropping continuously since, I guess, since the 90s, that people sort of become a bit less interested in top issues of New York, which would usually be things like crime, and they become more interested in more current issues like, or more growing issues like cost of living. Mamdani very cleverly, tactically sweeps into that area and gives a very rhetorically gifted presentation on cost of living issues and addressing them with a bunch of fairly I guess creative and novel policies, some of which I think make sense, others I'm not too keen on, but can't deny he is running a very good campaign. Good looking, yeah. Good hair, good beard. But he's also got some controversy. Okay, he's also got some controversy, not least of all on his views on Israel and Palestine. And there is this kind of...
You know that thing that's absolutely crucial to being mayor of New York for some reason? I didn't realise that Tel Aviv was one of the boroughs. What the fuck?
Meme that goes on. You'll notice this, okay? There's this thing where he is in the spotlight for talking about Israel and Palestine because he talks about Israel and Palestine. That's what he's spoken about Israel and Palestine quite a lot. He's given a lot of very be outside of the box for the Democratic Party opinions on Israel Palestine.
Yeah, but that would be any opposition whatsoever to genocide is outside of the box for the Democratic Party.
So people ask him about it in the debates. But now you'll notice that there's this sort of weird whiplash going on where people who defend Mamdani will say, why are you talking so much about Israel-Palestine? Why are you asking the mayoral candidate of New York about Israel-Palestine? Why are you asking about Hamas? Well, it's because he talks about it. It's because he's given very interesting comments about it. So you're kind of in this weird world right now where, yeah, you're right.
Well, no, it's because it's very obvious that this is a drummed up attempt to smear him in exactly the same way they did with Jeremy Corbyn. The same way they do with everyone who is a critic of Israel in any way, including Jewish critics of the State of Israel. Get called terrorist synthesizers and such.
It's not really... His positions on Israel-Palestine don't really matter that much to him as a New York mayor. They will matter, I guess, to a lot of Jewish people living in New York because of the campus protests and fears of anti-Semitism.
Well, I think it matters to a lot of people who aren't Jewish as well, but like it's not core central to the position of New York mayor. So the fact that there's been so much focus on this is clear that certain malign actors in American politics behind the scenes have wanted it to be so.
Semitism rising, but Jewish people in New York are less than 10%, I think, of the New York population. Most of New York is not Jewish, and they're probably not going to have that as a top priority because people care about themselves ultimately. But yeah, the fact is that it is kind of his fault that Israel-Palestine is such a big part of his campaign.
Snake.
Like it is his
oh yeah, no, it's definitely his fault. No, absolutely. It's not the fact that there's loads of Zionists in the press. No. It's his fault for daring to address the issue at all.
Well, he made it about Israel-Palestine. He spoke about how he wanted to arrest Netanyahu. He defended
Oh no, did he? That's crazy.
Briefly, the idea of globalize the Intifada, or at least he equivocated on how condemnable it was. Now, obviously, people have taken an interest, and because you're a mayoral candidate...
You're such a Zionist bitch. It's embarrassing.
You
Honestly, I used to have respect for this guy. God almighty. Fucking embarrassing.
On the vivisection table, people are paying a lot of attention to you. And this clip from September 2023 has resurfaced of him talking about NYPD and making it about... Anyone want to guess?
The importance for me of international solidarity is that it takes me out of the American political landscape and reminds me just how tame some of the things are that I'm actually calling for or that I support. And it reminds me of the necessity of grounding ourselves in the struggles as opposed to the fights around the struggles. For anyone to care about these issues, we have to make them hyperlocal. We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. We are in a country where those connections...
We need to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. Interesting.
Those connections abound, especially in New York City. You have so many opportunities to make clear the ways in which that struggle over there is tied to capital's interest over here. The importance for me of...
Now, before anyone jumps in and says that, oh, did you not know that the NYPD has actually done training with the IDF? Okay, let's get into it.
Here comes what the Hasbro talking points that his fucking paymasters have given to him. Cool.
This is a really good example of using something... Well, his statement wasn't actually true, but referring to something that is technically true. It is true that the NYPD and other U.S. police forces have done things, training sessions, and even had some officers, usually higher up people, visit there for training and cooperate.
Right. He's going to make the absurd argument that because only 1,000 have been to Israel, that means it's not really that much of a thing. We literally have quotes from leading members of the IDF, Jesus Christ, of the New York Police Department saying that they modelled their training on what the IDF have done in terms of like policing in the occupied territories. It literally is. The NYPD they've looked at the genocide and thought, how can we translate that into policing in America? So yeah, the IDF literally have had a massive influence on the way in which American policing is done. At least in the largest... Is New York the largest or second largest city in America? Is Los Angeles bigger? Whatever. One of the largest cities in the United States.
With not really sometimes the IDF, but it's mostly Israeli police. It's mostly, if it's New York police, they're mostly interacting with Israeli police. They sometimes talk with the IDF as well, though. It's taking a fact that is technically true, but using it to tell a false story. So, for example, if someone asks me about what happened in the 48 war, and I decide to go Ben Shapiro mode, and I say, well, the Arabs started a war, and then the Israelis defended themselves, and then there were some radio broadcasts by the Arabs telling all the Arabs to leave their villages to make space for the invading Arab armies to take out the Jews. So, and then after that, 700 and something thousand people fled their homes and became refugees. Well, nothing I've said there was false, right? The Arab radio broadcasts were real. They were real. They did say, get the fuck out of the way so we can send the army in to take the country. But that's obviously missing out a few very important variables, right? Is it the main reason people fled? No. because alongside Arab radio broadcasts from leaders that most of these people didn't really identify that closely with, there was other much more pressing variables like fear, like the fact that there was a war going on, like advancing military movements, like massacres and news of those massacres happening next door, whisper campaigns from the Haganah as well as from the Arab war. So you see how when you tell that story in that way, you're saying something that's technically true, but if another person wanted to use that...
Interesting that he doesn't say who was doing the massacres or why the people were afraid, particularly. Very neutrally explained there. Your propaganda handlers will be very pleased. Because this is the kind of liberal end of the Hasbro pipeline, really. Like, he can accept that, you know, some bad things happened during the old Nakba. But if you just explain them in a kind of neutral way and just say, massacres happened, people were afraid, then you can then go on to tell Israel's story on Israel's behalf for potentially financial gain, of course. Not that I would ever suggest that about our good friend. The Met Police use Israeli armoured vehicles battle-tested in Gaza. Jesus Christ. But no, it's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory to say that Western police is influenced by Israel at all. It's you're being anti-Semitic, chat. Stop being Nazis. With whom are many US police departments training? With a chronic human rights violator, Israel. Yep. There you go. What a shock.
That story, they would say, well, the main reason they fled was because the Arabs told them to, and that's false, right? So by the same token, you can find plenty of articles talking about how Israel interacts with the American police forces and with and how it's mostly Israeli police, but also the IDF is involved as well, largely since the early 2000s. You'll figure out why in a minute if you haven't already. But people can take that to make a statement like, when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's actually been laced by the IDF, right? It's a very different statement. So the fact is, the technically true thing, and even the Jewish Virtual Library is like relatively pro-Israel. Like they don't...
Hey, hello Maria End, how are you? I haven't seen you around a little while. Good to have you back. Kevin, where do you think the Mizrahi and Sephardic Jewish populations came from? They fled the neighbouring Arab country. Well, yeah, they did, yeah. I think Mizrahi, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right in saying that it was literally coined as a phrase for what was called Easterner or something, or of the East, which was basically a way of saying a Jewish person who'd lived in Arab countries or something like that. So they were more Arabized, if that makes any fucking sense. Jewish people. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Thoughts on Sudan? It's a fucking shit show. It's an absolute shit show. With unbelievable ramifications in terms of imperialist chicanery over centuries. Like, it's too big a topic to get into right now at what, fucking quarter to midnight or whatever. But yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to the people of Sudan who are being fucked over. I genuinely don't know what else to say about that.
Mince words. Like they have a whole timeline here of the number of American law enforcement officials who have actually gone to Israel for training it's about 1,000 in the last 20 years. It's not that many. This largely started in the wake of 9/11 because of counterterror. So American police officers or higher ups, like commissioners, would say, "Well, who's been dealing with terrorism, quote unquote, for the longest time that we're allies with? Well, it's Israel." So they would send police commissioners or upper officials to go and learn about counterterrorism, right? So things like working counterterror units, or things like dealing with IEDs.
Oh, I thought that was on my fucking
how to spot threats, or how to spot people who are maybe Googling dubious things to try to make bombs and things like that, or what kind of like websites to look out for. Like, that's kind of what they were mostly doing. There was occasionally, I think, for crowd control for events and heightening security, the NYPD interacts with the Israeli police headquarters, I think in the Sharon district, Kfar Saba. So there is interaction there, but it's largely to do with counterterrorism. That's like the main.
So, like, so what if it is? Like, do you think it just stays in counterterrorism? Those 1,000 people come back with ideas about how to implement, you know, policing strategies, don't they? Like, the idea that, oh, it's only 1,000 of the leading police training officials that went over to Israel. Like, motherfucker, we know that they use tactics that have been used in Gaza and the West Bank. What Zohar Mamdani said in that clip, whilst, yes, said it in a kind of aggressive way, when you put the imagery of a boot on a neck, it's not ideal. But I know exactly what he means, and he's not incorrect. What's this? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, okay, I'll disable ad blocker on the Times of Israel. Okay. NYPD opens branch in Kfar Saba. Veteran Israeli-born police detective to tighten cooperation between the Israeli police and New York's finest. To be fair, that is from 2012, but, you know, I presume it didn't, like, end in 2012. Yeah, I think, forgive me, but I think that our friend Bonalocks might actually be just a fucking a paid-for shill at this point. He might actually just be lying on behalf of Israel. Whoopsie. I wonder if he's getting the 7,000 that those other dickheads are getting. If he's not, he's selling himself short.
Main thing, and it's also a tiny minority of people who are, you know, getting training or quote.
That's disingenuous as fuck, because again, those 1,000 people are specifically the people involved in training police officers. So they go there to get trained and come back and they train police officers in the United States based upon the tactics that they've learned in Israel. So each one of those 1,000 people will train themselves thousands of people. Over the course of their career, they'll train many tens of thousands potentially. Which ultimately filters down over generations into the status quo of American policing.
No one's getting their boots, like, even metaphorically, getting their boots laced by the IDF. America goes to Israel to exchange and to learn about issues that they think Israel is better equipped with, like counterterrorism, like dealing with IEDs or suicide bombers or would-be suicide bombers and things like that. That's like the main thing. But then obviously that fact gets used and propelled. And when people say that, if you distill all that into American police officers are getting trained by the IDF, well, that is not completely untrue. It's just that if you present that to an audience, and I guess Mamdani was one of those audience members at some point.
Oh, and of course, yeah, he's not mentioning the fact that, here we go, the quote, Law enforcement, hundreds of others from Florida, Jersey, blah, blah, blah. Capitol Police have travelled to Israel for training. Thousands of others have received training from Israeli officials here in the US. So he's leaving out some quite interesting and important parts of this. Yes, only 1,000 Americans. I'm prepared to accept that that number is true. He might be lying, who knows. Only 1,000 Americans have gone to Israel for training. That does not mean that only 1,000 American police officers have received Israeli training. That isn't true. He's a liar.
Point. If you present that claim, then you're going to get extrapolations that are up to the imagination of people who want to embellish, right? So the way that he said that as well, what was that phrase he said?
We have to make them hyperlocal. We have to make clear that when the...
We have to... hang on.
We have to make them hyperlocal.
Hyperal? What? What word is that? Hang on.
The way that he said that as well, what was that phrase he said?
We have to make them hyperlocal. We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF.
Did he say... hang on. Did he do the very American thing of saying hyperbole instead of hyperbole? Don't hurt me, Zoran. Don't be that American and say he just said hyperbole. Sorry, do you know how many times I've illegally voted for you? I didn't know you were this kind of American. Hyperbole. F's in chat. F's in chat. I mean, it's over. It's over. There's no coming back from it. After the Billy Joel incident, and now this. You know what? I might need to go and illegally vote for Kurt Sleewer. Because he's a mentalist.
That reminds me so much of something that quite a few people said after George Floyd was murdered. If you guys remember, there was this claim that the kneeling on the guy's neck in order to kill him, I guess, was apparently a technique that was taught to the Minnesota police, it would have been, or Minneapolis police by the IDF. But obviously, Minneapolis police, again, have had interactions with the IDF, and I think, again, mostly Israeli police, not the IDF. But the idea that they learned the kneel from any training with the Israelis is not, it's just not true. It's completely false. And that's also why Derek Chauvin, for anyone who forgets, is in jail, because he was doing something that he was not trained to do. He was not told to do that. Now, it reminds me of Roger Waters. This was Roger Waters shortly after the George Floyd killing happened, incidentally, on I think a fairly pro-Hamas media outlet. But
oh, the Hamas! Oh, for God's sake! Also, look, Roger Waters is a twat. Going to Roger Waters as a talking point against Zohran Mamdani is ludicrous.
This is him talking about similar thing.
Pulling the strings of Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and
What did you say this? Sorry.
Sheldon Adelson, who is the puppet master pulling the strings of Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and what's his name? The ambassador. Anyway, Greenberg. What's his name? Greenberg. Sheldon Adelson is the puppet master pulling all of the strings.
Now, to be fair, Sheldon Adelson is now dead. Can we get some lols in chat? Because that is very funny. But his wife, or widow, I suppose now, again, lols in chat. It definitely is using her wealth and the political connections that she and her husband built up over years to extract concessions from Donald Trump and his regime. Well, that's just true. That's not even hidden. There's no conspiracy theory here. It's what they do. It's what they've always done. And I say they as in the Adelsons, not all Jewish people or anything fucking silly like that. And again, it's in the service of Israel. It's not in the service of, like, controlling the world or any JQ bullshit. So when, like, this is the problem with dickheads like Roger Waters. When you use these weird words like pulling the strings and puppet masters and all this sort of stuff, you end up sounding like a fucking lunatic. It ain't that deep, fam. It's rich bastards doing what rich bastards always fucking do, which is buying political influence for whatever particular thing it is they support. People like this don't help the Palestinian cause. And I'm sure, like, in his heart, he does want to help the Palestinian cause. But he just comes across as sounding like a mad cunt. And the fact that this is not relevant in any way whatsoever to Zoran Mamdani. So the fact that Lonerbox is bringing this up is an embarrassing attempt to smear him. Do you know? I can't take on really what Zoran Mamdani said, so instead I'm going to pretend that Zoran Mamdani believes this thing that Roger Waters, a crazy fucking mad old cunt, thinks and has said. Yeah, that Nazi tattoo thing is fucking wild. I haven't really talked about him a great deal, but, like, you can tattoo over it, but, like, we still know what it is, mate. Fucking hell.
And
Yeah,
Sheldon
right, yeah.
Adelson is a right-wing, fascist, racist bigot who doesn't
That bit
understand.
was true. But he also is now dead. Again, just for clarification.
Worst thing about the idea that human beings might have rights. Sheldon Adelson believes that only Jews.
Roger is crap on Ukraine, but he did do the funniest thing ever, which, like, it just shows you the kind of level of delusion this fucking prick is on. At the start of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, he wrote to both Vladimir Zelensky and Vladimir Putin to say that he would act as a conduit to negotiations and peace talks between the two of them. This, like, washed up has-been rock star from 50 years ago decided to write a letter to both of these people. Like, what world are you in? What fucking plane of existence do you inhabit, Mr. Waters? Do you think you are a remotely appropriate figure to be doing that? Oh, God. When you've been rich enough and famous enough for that long, you lose any sense of perspective. You think you're a genuine world player, when actually what you are is a lunatic. You're just a mad bastard. And look, I don't mind. If he just stuck to doing mad bastard stuff, like writing to Volodymyr Zelensky saying, I'll do peace talks, that would be fine. I'd be down with that. That's the level of, like, mad hat nonsense I can deal with. It's when he starts talking about puppet masters and stuff. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, mate. Fuck's sake.
Only Jewish people are completely human. That they're attached in some way.
The chosen people of God, yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, that is Roger Waters, yes. That is him.
Everybody else.
You know he lives on a boat, by the way. You know Roger Waters lives on a boat. He has this big fuck off, like, it's not like a little boat. It's not like a little fucking paddle boat or whatever. It's like a big fucking thing. Not a yacht, but it's like a riverboat. Big fuck off riverboat that's like moored on the Thames. Out in the leafy bit in the suburbs and all that. Not like outside Parliament or something. And he just lives on a boat. Because again, a man who would write to Vladimir Putin saying, I'll do peace talks, is a kind of man that lives on a fucking boat. He could live in a mansion, he could live in a normal house, he could live in a tent. He has decided that he wants the life aquatic. Kind of.
On Earth is there to serve them. He's crazy. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy guy. Unfortunately, this crazy, crazy, crazy guy is also incredibly rich and has the tiny
I
little...
only just realized that he has. Is that a keffiyeh in the background, or I can't tell.
That can also be used to describe a male genital prick, Donald Trump, in his pocket. The murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis last week was done with a technique invented by the IDF, by the occupation forces. The Israelis invented, let's kill people by kneeling on their necks and cutting off the blood supply of the carotid artery to the brain. That is an Israeli technique taught to the militarized police forces of the United States of America by Israeli experts, who the Americans have been flying over to the United States.
See, that's just completely false. It's just completely false. And using a phrase like that when you have the NYPD boot on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. Like that is, you are just feeding into, or you're not even feeding into, you're just propelling an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
Hey, Old Faithful. When all else fails, pull out Old Faithful. The anti-Semitisms. Look, there is a lot of training cooperation between American armed... I was going to say American armed forces, and that's sort of true. But I mean American police, who have basically become militarized, but either the IDF or the Israeli police forces. Whether that be Americans going to Israel or Israelis going to America or whatever, there has been a lot of interaction. So you can sort of do weird fucking tone policing about how, well, he said it in a slightly inflammatory way or whatever. But hang on, what was I saying? I've lost the. Yeah, you can. I fucking zoned out for a second there. Yeah, you can criticise the way in which he worded it if you want to. I think that's a bit prissy and silly, but whatever, you can do so. Ultimately, what he said wasn't incorrect. It just wasn't. It's not anti-Semitic at all. It's just the truth. Roger Waters. Oh, sorry, did I get that wrong? Oh, apparently it's David Gilmour, also of Pink Floyd fame, who lives on a boat. I'm sure I saw him on a boat. Maybe he used to live on a boat as well. I don't know. Roger Waters' net worth is $310 million. He has sold a lot of records over a long period of time. Roger Waters' address that's in New York. I'm talking about his place in Britain. Hang on a minute. Astoria is a grand houseboat moored on the River Thames at Hampton. David Gilmour. Recording and mixing of several Pink Floyd and solo albums on board. Oh, okay. Originally used by Fred Carno, the music hall impresario. Cooler Shaker recorded some of their albums on there. Muse recorded parts of the second album, Origin of Symmetry, which, by the way, badass album, on the Astoria. Fuck yes. Okay. Well, there you go. Not relevant to anything, but I like it.
Like, that's what that is. It's just it's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. That's it. Unless the boot on your neck is unless the boot on your neck is referring to someone who is held up on terrorism charges by an officer whose superior learned about counterterrorism from Israeli police on a...
Oh, but it's the superior of the superior of the superior. And it's not like they would pass any of that training down through the chain of command. No. Famously, no one's boss ever tells them what to do. Israel really doesn't use its Hasbro money very well in terms of the propagandists it pays to talk shit, I don't think. I feel like they could definitely do better. Or maybe after the genocide they just can't. Maybe even the shills of the world just are like, oh, look, I can't be associated with that. $7,000 for a fucking TikTok is nice money, but I can't be dealing with it. It's not worth it.
Training course like 10 years ago. Like that, believe it or not, Americans make their own laws. They make their own laws and they make their own standards. And some things Israelis tell them about that Israelis do that Americans don't. And there are some things, there's some advice Israelis are giving Americans that clearly the Americans thought was worth using, right? That's all it is. It's all it is. Wait, hang on. Why does it keep muting?
Carotid artery to the brain. That is an Israeli technique taught to the militarized police forces of the United States of America by Israeli experts, who the Americans have been flying over to the United States to teach them how to murder the blacks, because they've seen how efficient the Israelis have been murdering Palestinians in the occupied territories using those techniques, and they're proud of it. They're proud of it. The Israelis are proud of it. They go, hey, look how good we are at this. You can learn. Zionism is an ugly stain, and it needs to be gently removed by us.
It's just such a... How is it efficient? I thought Israelis would just shoot them. Like, it's so dumb. To
be fair, they have been doing plenty of that as well.
So dumb. What, just get a hold of the person, whether this is in a riot or they might be armed, or they just get up to them right in your face so that you get them down onto their stomach and bound.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he said the blacks. But that, like, to me, trust me, as a person who has existed around old British people, that is unfortunately the way that old British people talk. Look, I ain't saying it's good, I'm just saying that's how they talk. It doesn't necessarily come from a place of absolute hatred or disdain, it's just... the blacks is a way that they refer to black people sometimes, because Britain is still a very racist place, but it was a more obviously racist place in the past. I'll say that much.
And restrained, potentially with backup people around you in case they're too strong, and then kneeling on their neck for 12 minutes. It's so dumb, man. But yeah, I don't know.
But what's that got to do with what Zohran Mamdani was saying? Because he didn't say anything about George Floyd being killed by the IDF or whatever. Exactly, yeah. As Friends Rusty point out, yeah. When they say the blacks, they think that's politically correct. Or I still have some people who will say... I've known older people who still use the phrase, this is a phrase they use, I'm not saying this about anyone, they will say coloureds, meaning a person of colour, right? Coloureds. Because, and they'll say, and you'll say, don't call them that. And they go, what, it's better than calling them the... No! You don't need to finish that sentence. It is technically better, but just... No.
Unfortunately, if Mamdani has been yapping like this, even in September 2023, yeah, I'm sorry, people are going to ask you questions about it. It's just what happens. And
Right, and no one has a problem with him. People asking questions about it. It's why are so many of the questions about this. Because again, he's not running to be the mayor of any part of Israel. So the fact that they keep asking him constantly about Israel is worrying, I think, as to like what are the priorities of the people always asking those questions.
I say that as someone who would easily support this guy over any Republican or even Cuomo for mayor of New York. But damn, there's yeah, people are going to ask questions about that, especially.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
In New York City, when there's quite a large number of Jews living there. Anyway, silly, goofy. Subscribe.
Yes, indeed you are. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for the evening. The term African American is a bit fucked up. I mean, I guess it is, yeah. But the problem is, the more precise you get with it, the more weird it starts to sound. Like in Britain, we've got this term BAME or BAME. Some people refer to it as, which is a black African and mixed ethnicity or whatever the fuck. I can't even remember what the acronym is now, but and it basically means like not white people. But you try and be more as specific and kind of sterile as a phrase is, and it's just like no one refers to themselves as BAME. That's just a thing people put in like documents. Is that Liz Truss queefing into your ear hole? And on that bombshell.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
Black, Asian, and minority ethnic. There you go. I knew it was something like that. Yeah. It basically just means, like, not white. You know. What is this, 255? 255. I've literally just said I'm ending the stream and you've sent me a video that's an hour and 5 minutes. Although it is one I want to watch at some point called what's the Hungarian Revolution in 1956, the CIA. By Bad Mouse Productions. Because Bad Mouse's videos are always interesting, even if they're shit. Okay, on that bombshell, yeah, I'm literally going to go now because I'm tired. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So I'm going to. Let's see who's going on YouTube. Left of the Box, who was in earlier. So go and say hello to Left of the Box on the YouTubes. Who's going on twitch.tv earlier. So go and say hello to Left of the Box. Lux Progressive is going, so I'll send you over there. And I'll see you tomorrow. I might do quite a long stream tomorrow because I might do some politics stuff to begin with and then a football thing at the end because Liverpool are playing the anti-Semitic Aston Villa Football Club. Yeah, so I might do that. I think could end up being quite a long stream or not. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching. I'll see you all, well, later today, because it's past midnight now. Free Palestine. No pass around.